lose ourselves in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Yet we keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are, mysterious. That's the part you always show, 'cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow, mysterious. That's the part you always show, 'cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. You search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Reaching for the stars. I wonder where you are. flows, there is also misery. It's no mystery. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Wherever love flows, there is also tragedy. When we're in too deep. And you and I, we got history. Yeah. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. I'm sorry for all the pain. Go look in the mirror, say, hey, I'm sorry for all the pain. All the pain.
Welcome to KG5 for this massive Veto Southern Championship title decider. We haven't covered a championship game this year, but why not start now with the title on the line? It's the Glenorchy Knights taking on Beachside. The stakes are high. It's a wonderful night for football out here. It should be a tremendous occasion as the Knights tackle Beachside. I'm Andrew Cooling. Joining me to call this one, Paul Hunt, and there, Funty, is the situation heading into this final game of the season.
Yeah, look, this is certainly the championship decided. Knights only needing a draw to get there, but if Beachside win, the championship is theirs. They've been known to win the odd championship on the last day of the season as Beachside. I was once beaten out to that myself personally in about 2011, I think. So they're known to do it, Beachside, and it's going to be a very, very tight contest.
And Knights entering the season as real comfortable favourites to take out the league. Spent a fair bit of money, assembled a very good squad. There's their last 5 games. The game that really has thrown this whole thing open again. Heading into the final 3 weeks, they had a nice little buffer, and then they dropped that one to University 2-0, and it opened right back up. And certainly they've rebounded quite nicely with the victory over Uni and Torino in the final 3, but that game is the end of the regular part of the season, if you will, has opened things right up. That's the last 5 games. So pretty good form apart from that loss to Uni, which is why the door has been left ajar for Beachside. And the Beachside have been in pretty good nick themselves. And a real physical battle I'm expecting today, Funty. 2 very strong teams out there.
Yeah, we've obviously seen a fair bit of Knights so far this season with their majestic Lacquer Seljet Cup run into the final. I haven't seen too much of Beachside. Did watch them about 2 weeks ago, and they managed to snatch a 1-0 win over Newtown at Clare Street. Thought I'd pop round to that one on my Saturday off, and physical is one way I would use to describe it. We'll see their teams shortly, but it's a very physical lineup, as is this night's one.
Yeah, starting at the top, and I'm very happy to see my man Bellini in there. The tricks will be out in force tonight, don't you worry. A bit of magic Bellini at the top.
The fact you've only done 1 championship game is, I can't believe that, especially with him starting.
I think I was tempted to get the second camera in just to follow him around, but looking forward to seeing what he can do. Interesting to see the Engel grinder on the bench, though. He's come in for him, so maybe still getting back to full fitness or battling an injury there. But the rest of the team, Jake Clay, a stalwart at fullback for Knights, very reliable player. Duck Engels will lead the line up top. He'll play alongside number 8, Matthew Nowicki. He usually play a 4-4-2. Hugh Foley, he's the only Foley in the side today. Declan not out there, but Hugh has had a very good season for Knights. He's a fantastic player. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. Tyler Harrison, one of many names very familiar to our usual NPL audience here. The star for Zebras before defecting to the Knights, as was the man you can see doing his laces up there, who's probably been the best player in the championship this season, and given he was a top 10 player in the NPL last year, why not the big General Sherman? And he is going to be a key to their success tonight, no doubt. Samuel James, I was impressed with him in the Lacquer Seljet Cup run. Alex Nandan, a wily customer. He can play either fullback or on the wing. I'm not sure where we'll see him today. Number 22, Dimi Nesta. A fantastic pair of hands, very reliable goalkeeper. Could be a real edge they have in this contest today. Benny Phillips will partner Tyler Harrison at the back, and that is the strongest championship bench you will ever see. The Brown brothers and the Angle Grinder, and a bit of DJ Heggie as well to boot. Alex Woodham, the backup keeper. Your thoughts on the Knights, Funty?
Look, we talked through the Lacquer Cup setup that this is pretty much an NBL team in a Southern Championship body, and look, this lineup, despite having, you can have Angle Grinder on the bench, you can have Brown brothers on the bench, probably the best centre-back pairing, one of the best in Tasmania. Doesn't matter what division, NPL, Northern, Southern, it genuinely is one of the best. So I think that back three of Nesta, Phillips and Harrison will go a long way to deciding this matchup today.
It's quite a good crowd building out here for the title decider.
I could barely get a park before, actually. I was just strolling down Grove Road, inside car park, outside car park. I'm down about 2 blocks away.
Yeah, that tells you all you need to know there. In here for a big occasion. We'll move on to the Beachside lineup. The challengers today, they need the victory. Of course, a draw will be enough for Knights. And plenty of strong players in this side too. And starting at the top with the hulking figure of big Brady Andrews. I think he'll play at centre-back. But he is just an absolute behemoth, that man. And he really speaks to the physicality of this team. Number 15, Ryan Bevan, he's a pacey customer. Another familiar pair of names there from our NPL days in the Big Stork, Cuthbertson and Henry Fagg. Two brilliant signings. I mean, the fact that they're able to get those two players along shows just why they're in this title decider. The goalkeeper, number 98, Rowan Gillum. That is outstanding work. That might be his birth year, perhaps. He is quite a young fella, but geez, that is an obscure one. I think that's Siegler. In goals there we've got on the camera there, but it looks like Rowan Gillum will be the one getting the start, so that's Siegler on the screen at the moment. Number 16, the Hotel, Henry Jones, looking forward to seeing what he can do. Number 10, Adam Lapola, skillful, wily customer, perhaps the opposite in terms of stature of Big Brady Andrews, but he'll be tough to deal with. And a couple of recruits they've got there from Kingborough, and Thomas McDonald, Damien Pearce, physical, strong customers. McDonald, I'll never forget that goal he scored at Warrior Park last year. Robbed for goal of the year, absolute stunner. That was number 17, Ryan Thurley, and then the Pelican, big number 7, Benny Whitehall. I love the way he goes about it. His tenacity will be something we're looking forward to. And on the bench, as we've mentioned, the backup keeper, Siegler, Kieran Bigger, Ashley Fisher, Matthew Luttrell, and Nicholas McDonald rounding out the Beachside team. And it looks like the big Poison Ivy officiating in the middle. It's just
big names all around here, big bodies, big names. We were saying before about the physical, imposing nature of Beachside. Henry Faggot and Brett Andrews. Out the back, you got the crafty, very nice touch in the centre midfield, especially between Lapola and young Ryan Thurley. Ben Whitehall, probably the most tenacious player I've personally ever seen and played against. He is an absolute pit bull terrier up front. He will chase down every single loose ball and also usually get a yellow card for some reason as well. But yeah, that is a very, very strong lineup. And if this gets into a game, gets a bit scrappy, I reckon Beachside are going to come out of the scrap winners if that's how it ends up. And then their bench, we were talking about Knights having some depth. Ash Fisher's got plenty of NPL Tas experience. Kieran Bigger, a very promising young player with a very, very great family lineage in Tasmanian football. So a very, very exciting contest here tonight.
And the last time these two teams met on this ground, a 3-2 victory to Beachside. And they struck twice in the opening 10 or 15 minutes of that one, both from corners, really getting at them on the set pieces. Actually, one might have been a free kick, but they're both headed goals. showing their real strength. It looks like they're lining up with the back five with Fag, Andrews and Cuthbertson. A pretty strong trio of centre-backs, so why not?
The only thing I'm disappointed about is that game out at Newtown a few weeks ago. We were treated to a very rare appearance on the pitch from Aaron Brasendale, and I'm disappointed he's still not here 3 weeks later. That would have been an absolute treat.
And in fact, it looks like the big Reddy Andrews might be just playing the screening role in front of the back four, so a defensive midfielder and or even a Manja Matic type, if you will. And we're underway in the Veto Southern Championship decider. The General Sherman sending it out wide. Really looking forward to this one as Mandan looks to get on the ball. You can hear that crowd early enjoying it. Beachside, a very vocal contingent out here. They'll be out in very good voice tonight. I know what an occasion it is. It'll be interesting to see how both teams approach this one in the opening moments. Of course, Beachside are the ones who need to win the game. Will they be the ones to really look and take it up to them? The long throws heaved forward and a chance to get in behind, but nicely defended. And they'll get the foot on the ball here through Sherman, who worked it to Foley. They can build now through Bellini, spreads it wide for Samuel James. Just held up and goes back to Sherman, a little dink over the top, but that's cut out and sent back from whence it came.
Yeah, obviously most of our NPL Tas viewers who don't see a lot of Southern Championship football, you won't see too much 4-3-3. Slow possession Barcelona style tiki-taka here. This is going to be one hell of a ding-dong kind of contest, end to end, as we see header get up. Duck Engels doesn't get under it, and Brett Andrews gets robbed of it. James looking down the wing at Sunawiki, who's not quite going to get there in time. Pacey customer, but not that pacey. And they'll go out for a throw-in. Interesting to see what options Beachside present. It goes long, right to the head of James. The wicket contesting and not getting rid of Andrews, just skying that one to himself. It's quite an interesting one too, and then it doesn't go up for the header, which is rather interesting. And Duck Engels, who just plays that one out of play. The ball getting bogged down in that far corner. Duck Engels actually managing to win the throw-in. Bit of a late change in the call there. Now, I think Henry Fagg just getting a quick touch on that one to send that out of play. And the throw-in taken. Now, up.
Bellini on it.
That's Bellini.
He swings it towards the wiki, almost getting on the end of it. It's a dangerous ball. He made an intelligent run. Couldn't quite get there, and now the hotel will take it out for Beachside from the back. They've turned it over immediately though, but Clay just with a bit too much pepper on that one and it flies out. And there's perhaps just a bit of a settling process needing to go down. They're certainly keen to ping the ball around at a great pace. A few nerves out there perhaps.
A very slippery surface as well. It's been absolutely pouring down in southern Tasmania all day, so well, it's not going to get the kind of lumpiness that a grass pitch would. The synthetic will certainly skid, as that's a good header on the general, but effectively cleared there from the hotel. Phillips and Harrison eventually work it out. As far as Andrews, now Bevan. But again, an absolute champion in the middle, and Nandan goes for the diagonal ball, but very, very well cut out there by the left back Pearce. Nice ball into Apollo, who's just a bit of a heavy touch. Now Nandan looks down the line to Nowicki. Cuthbertson for company. And eventually that is given as offside. So just waiting for him to be in play there before calling it the assistant referee.
He's certainly watching the temperament of Nowicki very closely with this one. Of course, cost himself a Luck-a-Silver Cup final berth with his sending off in the championship match between these two sides last time, that 3-2. They really look to wind him up, the Beachside boys. They're getting in his groove. They know he's a fiery customer. Haven't seen too much of that early, but just something to be wary of. They try and stir up the wild card up top for the Knights.
Oh, if it's worked before, and you know, it will take a bit of a while. From memory, that red card was right in the 90th minute as well, so it does take a little while, but eventually that fuse can be lit, as that's a free kick just rifled into the player in front, who was about 3 yards away. Harrison should collect that one under the Knights. Guy does well. Getting that out to Nandan. He's got 3 or 4 options up top. One Nowicki gets a touch. Past Cuthbertson, who goes sliding in, and the Beachside crowd love that, but he will concede the first corner of the game.
Vintage big
options up
stalk
top, one
that,
in the wiki,
just
gets a
stretching
touch.
those giant legs of his and getting in
Cuthbertson,
there.
who goes sliding
The
in,
wiki.
and the Beachside
Been
crowd
doing that for a number of years, the big stalk Cuthbertson. And a set piece opportunity here for James, by the looks of things, to wander across and whack in. Let's see what he can deliver. Some good targets to pick out, and a wiki in there.
Sherman.
Big General Sherman. Surprised he's not taking it, but James with the set piece duties. Nandan presenting short here. He'll swing it into the mixer, repelled away. Nandan now took a while to control it. Now Beachside through McDonald. Will look to burst away. McDonald down the line, but didn't really have much of an option, but it was certainly not great well used there, trying to find the Pelican. Wendy Whitehall just wide of the mark there.
Yeah, he'd need feet as big as a pelican's beak to have been able to control that. That was a mile away from him. There's Harrison. All right, Clay takes the throw in from his usual left back position. Harrison on the ball now, looking long, but the Hotel just getting in front of a wiki there. And managing to win the throw in as well. So Wiki not too happy about that one.
He's stolen a good 5 yards there and then heaves the throw down the line. Nandon comes in, wins it. Had his shirt grab, but allowed to play on, so he takes it off. Stepping in nicely there was the Hotel. Smashed away from him. Lapola hasn't had a chance to get on the ball much early, and that's a slightly wayward pass. We'll see Damien Pearce forced to retreat. Actually gets there and sends it up the line, looking there for Ryan Michael Bevan. Will he be the clutch finisher that his name suggests he should be? Harrison smashes it back to Nestor, who kills this one in the middle, and there is the big frame of Andrews. Works it to the man half his size, Lapola. Back again to big Andrews, sends it in the Pelicans' direction. Just a bit too much on it. He gives chase, but it was always lost calls, and it'll be a goal kick. And just ready Andrews. We've got Lucas the Mountain Hill in the NPL. Andrews is bigger. I think he might have to be 1-1. He's the giant. So Brett 1-1 Andrews, I think, is going to have to be the go here. He is an absolute behemoth, this fella.
I was thinking to just go into an obscure mountain range, but you know what? You've beat me to that. I was going to say the Himalaya, but as he gets in there again, Thurley getting it in the back post, gets a touch, taken out from the keeper. Goal kick. Poison Ivy's not having a bar of that. Thurley gets absolutely taken out after having the shot on goal. We'll see the replay. Andrews with a thumping header. He gets there first, and then he's just taken out for all money. The only thing I can think of is that the ball has landed out of play, so he may not have got to it, but yeah.
I mean, he's never getting to it, but he's just clobbered him. He's clean tunnelled him, smashed him down, but no sense of occasion. The referee says, no, we're not going to give Beachside the early goal to really add to the intrigue of this contest, and no spot kick, so perhaps lucky to get away with that one, I think, Punty.
As if this game needed any more spice.
He's down the line, the wiki's there, headed away from him. A good tempo to this one early. James with the throw in, he sends it in the direction of Bellini. Getting back, the steer it away from him was Henry Fagg, former Zebra skipper. It's been a very good pickup for Beachside. They've done very well with their recruiting and a very strong side. Here is 1-1. He goes back and all hustling and bustling was Nowicki. Holds it up nicely. Back to James. He's turned it over though, and now Beachside will look to get in there, but Foley stretching and just bringing it back, and there was an even more crunching challenge afterwards, but the initial one's been penalised.
He's had 2 touches and it's been absolutely poleaxed in both of them. So first by the keeper, and then he gets a touch there and just gets whacked in that one as well. As you point out, free kick already given, and the Stalkers completely clean, missed that under no pressure whatsoever.
Well, I wasn't watching, and I don't believe that the Stork would do that. I've never seen the Stork do that, so maybe it didn't happen.
Nah.
Here's the throw-in's taken. The chance as Bellini curls it in towards Duck Engels. Just eluded him. There's twice Bellini's tease balls in that have just been inches away from a night striker getting on the end of it. And Gillum restarts for Beachside.
Yeah, number 98 with a nice heaving kick. Harrison getting out underneath it, and Thurley not leaving a foot in there, and between Fagg and Pearce, they'll try and see it out. Duck Engels was having a good sprint on that one, trying to get there, but luckily Pearce had judged that one rather well. So we'll see if he goes down the line there. Big the even bigger Mountain Andrews is lining up to flick this one on. Wins that, but actually manages to flick it over the head of his teammate. Interesting ball back to Nesta with the Pelican bearing down. And just to get a touch on it. So very, very good hustle there from the Pelican. Quick throw in taken. Now looking over the back. Nowicki has got the hotel who coolly slides that back to the keeper. Over Lapola's head. He won't win too many headed contests. Well, Lapola now Foley bursting through in that distinctive headgear, and now the Stork clears that only as far as the Sherman. So ding dong stuff here, as it's another diagonal ball which Nowicki will look to get under, manages to get there, leaves it for Clay. Now Foley's got time and space. Edge of the box, but hits it wide for a goal kick.
The sweetest contact on the shot, just sat for him nicely there. As Clay squared the ball, Andrews wafting on it, and Foley looking to curl it. Just coming through and getting collected a little bit there was the big Stork Cuthbertson, who's rather gingerly getting back to his feet now, and seems to be all right. A little bit proppy, but nothing that's going to force him off. And they won't want to be missing his presence out there as they smash this one right down the guts in 1-1's direction. Floated over his head, and now Thurley out after it. In a bit of a foot race. And it's put behind. It'll be a throw in an advanced area here for the Beachside team, who to get a bit of a foothold in an attacking sense. Knight's probably just shading the opening moments of this one, but not a lot in it. Both teams really physically imposing themselves on the contest.
Yeah, no one taking a backward step at all so far in the first 10 minutes. As you say, fairly even. Sort of one shot for Knights and one penalty shout for Beachside, if I'm being kind. And this looks like it's going to be a huge throw-in. No one's even in front of where the 6-yard line is, and that's certainly delivered. Andrews with the flick on, nearly falls to Thurley, but cleared by the Knights, and they've still got 3 players forward. Wiki in the centre and couldn't quite get to it, so it's good covering back from Lapola.
Yeah, I like that tactic from Beachside. When you got a big 1-1 there, smash it on top of his head with the long throw in. Try and use that height advantage. There's not going to be anyone who can go pound for pound with him in the Knights team. As General Sherman gets on the ball, works it across down the line. Bellini with that clever little flick, and then played through by Duck Engels. And just escorting that one out of play, it was Fag. Bellini not quite getting on the end of the return ball, but he's looking lively early.
I think with the rain, I think that's just made that skid a bit extra, just a bit too much extra there for what Duck Engels is used to here at KGV. So an interesting thing to watch there, as we see HFAG is going to take this one and launches that one over halfway, and Nandan will easily touch that one over the Hotel's head. Might get the return ball here from the Wiki, and the Stork is just going to put a long leg out and easily guide that one out for a throw. Leave that for Clay, I'd assume. Right in front of the Knights bench. Plenty of them down there supporting and expecting a title win here tonight. Clay's also got a pretty good throw on him as well. He's got Foley short. Gets it now. He can look to touch inside. He's got 3 in the box. Lofts the ball flick on header. Nearly falls to Duck Engels. Now Bellini gets a shot in. James actually. Now the General. And good diving in challenge there from Pearce. But again, very promising signs here from Knights.
Yeah, probing early here, the Knights team, in the better of it. Probably a little bit stiff not to get a free kick there, I reckon, the General. Didn't seem to get too much of the ball.
Yeah, I'd concur with that, but I won't say anything bad about Poison Ivy.
So throw-in goes in the Bellini direction, chested in front of him, and out of play it goes. So number 98, and just pick this one up again, though. Henry Fag will continue the kicking in duties.
I don't know anyone else who's ever been 98. I've been racking my brain. I know Ronaldinho wore 99 for a while at Milan.
I mean, Wayne Gretzky 99 if we're going to switch sports entirely, but 98 is an interesting one. But, I'm not sure what the go is there, as this one's thumped full by the Art Hotel. In the back a little bit there was Phillips, but gets away with it, and James down the right again. He's been busy early in this one, but he's given it straight to Andrews. And he looks up and looks to spread the play with a searching ball, looking to unleash Ryan Bevan, and the keeper. Oh, he's got the opportune moments, so that's called for a foul. speaking of inopportune moments, the spectators is getting up and down the line, but I'd love a replay of that one because that looked like it could be a certain goal here. Nesta fumbling.
What's that for?
Oh, he's got away with that there. Knights. Very fortunate. Bevan has an empty net. And Timmy Nesta getting the goalkeeper's treatment again. Let me tell you what, each side have got the right to feel a little bit aggrieved early in this one, I think, Funty.
Oh, I think the audience out there will tell by my instant reaction of what on earth was that for. I've got absolutely no idea if the answer to my own rhetorical question.
I think he slipped and the rest assumed he's been pushed because the arm was just out a little bit. But I don't think he fouled him at all there, Ryan Bevan.
The phantom arm of Ryan Bevan just coming out there. All it can be is duck angles. Just going out wide now. James doesn't have an option, so he'll go back to General Sherman. Dummy from Bellini, now to Wiki. He's still running on. He's got duck angles in the box. Also Foley at the edge of the box, but surrounded by 3 Beachside players. Nice 1-2. Foley trying to get there and eventually cleared. Cuthbertson's actually decided to go for a bit of a run. Gets it to Thurley, who leaves it a bit short for Lapola. 2 at the back post if he can get there. Nandan with the touch, trying to get it back to duck angles, but they managed to read that the whole way and kept in from Bevan, who will now put a diagonal in for Thurley, and Dipper read that one the whole way. And we'll see what General Sherman can do out wide, but unfortunately the through ball after his pass. It's a bit of loose passing from Beachside when they're trying to get it out of their defensive half, as Lapola just puts his foot on it and tries to calm it down a bit. Now Thurley. Oh, nice turn, but very well read there from Phillips, who's moved out wide from his usual centre-back position there.
Just like to see Beachside get the Pelican a little bit more involved in this game. Funty hasn't seen a lot of it early. He's a hustler and a bustler up top, but it's been mainly Bevan and Thurley who've been the attacking outlets so far, as Pearce, he's off down the left here. He runs out of real estate and it'll be a throw in Knight's way. So 17 minutes into this one. No massive chances of note, but a couple of big moments inside the Beachside area. A big shout for a penalty and then a foul preventing Bevan from slotting one into the just about empty net, as they look to charge in behind here, but well defended. And they'll smash it forward. Nowicki in a one-on-one with the big Stork. Stork just held his ground nicely. Nowicki tracking it back, tries a little spin, ran into trouble, and that's a lovely little swan dive there from the big Stork, just changing his avian species there for a moment. Work to duck angles as we change again. He plays into Wiki. Here's a big chance for Knights! And he puts it right at the post. Rowan Gillam's got a piece of it, in fact.
I like most of the rest of the crowd here in the grandstand thought that was in. Nowicki played onside from the hotel, who's just left it a bit long there to push up. Gillam must have just got a bit of a backside or a thigh on that to deflect that wide.
A foot maybe? Whatever he's got's enough to take it wide though. So well done, young keeper. He saved the day there, Nowicki.
Be a bit of a right foot there, yeah.
The trailing leg saves Beachside. Dramatic opening 20 here. And that looked like a goal. And I tell you what, breathing a sigh of relief will be the Art Hotel, who was well out of step with the rest of his defence there. And this one's curled in near post. Repelled away by Fag. Curled back in by Nan. And a test for Gillam, who rather flaps at it, but he got cleaned up. So this is the free kick. And he is a very short stature for a keeper, young Ryan Gillam. We saw a bit of him in the NPL for Olympia last season. Really good reflexes, reactions as he puts that one underneath big 1-1. That was a little bit dicey, but does lack in stature. So Knights will be well served to be putting some crosses in as a free kick on the hotel is blown here on a halfway.
Yeah, fairly obvious. Pardon me, foul there by Nowicki, and yeah, just given that height, the biggest of frames is Gillam, so I'd certainly be inclined to pump that in, especially at every corner opportunity, as we'll see. Henry F. bomb that into the box on the chest of Andrews. Volleys, a great save, Nesta. Now Thurley on the follow-up, nearly touched in. How has that not got in? And Nandan will manage to recover that one. Lapola tracking back, getting into a bit of a scrap. Nandan again. Andrews is putting his hands in the air. There's an Ivy just letting that scrap peter out as we'll see what Pearce can do. In through the back. No foul given. One back again. That's surely a foul from Harrison, and a bit fiery in his contest here. Thurley with about his 4th foul against already. He's
love another look at that chance in the box if we get a moment, Ash. That was absolute scenes back there. Somehow it stayed out. A great initial save from Nesta, and then I thought Bevan, for all the world, was going to tuck it in. Here's Big Andrews using his frame, chests it down, and then first time volley almost sneaks in. A despairing lunge from Nesta. Thurley hits it, and somehow eludes Bevan.
It's just bounce that awkward height at like your hip where you can't get your knee up and you can't really chest it. Very unlucky there from Bevan.
Now is the Pelican going to test his, try his luck from range here. He's about 30 yards from goal. It would be an audacious effort, but he's shaping, and he's just going to dink one into the back post. Instead, Pearce is there, but he couldn't quite reach it on the lunge. And wide it goes. A good spell this from Beachside in response to that Nowicki chance. And he's not quite able to get there. Sneaking in at the back post. Plenty of action through 21 minutes here. It's been a frenetic opening to the game. And this one's just put out of play. Another Beachside throw.
They're getting on top, aren't they, Beachside? They're just starting to get their foot on it a bit more and push the Knights back. Notice their defensive line, especially the last couple of minutes, barely getting out of the 18-yard line.
Forcing the issue. And there'll be another chance here to send the long throw in. The Art Hotel smashes that one in. McDonald the target. He tries to claim a corner and he gets it. So another chance to swing one in and try and use those big bodies. And Pelican going to stride across. Take this one. So we have another look at this chance. Andrews did so well to track the ball and then get something on it, and I think that was sneaking back in. Nesta did superbly. Deflection, inches in it. Whitehall just being very particular about where he places the ball, and now he swings it in dangerously. It might sit here, well away. Danger not quite dealt with. It deflects up. Pops away. Tyler Harrison should be able to deal with it. He works it out to Duck Angles, who flicks it down the line for Nandan, and now Knights are on the counter, but Nandan was wasteful. Looking in space and just underhit it. And the moment passes there as they flood back numbers there. Beachside.
As Phillips picks that one up and wide. James. Up there, and it'll eventually fall back out. So Beachside got a runner there, and the Pelican wanted that one down the wing, and he's played in the centre. So Nesta taking his time with this one before lobbing it into the night sky. He's got Nan down here by the grandstand, but ignores that. Goes right to the head of Big Andrews, who's with them all the time, as we see Stork as well showing his aerial prowess. Finally on the deck to Nandan, who had space the entire time. And General Sherman, nice one too. Got space down the line for Foley. Will it stay in just? Wiki at the near post. Good head up. And just a foul. What do you can tell by the ironic cheers, did not control that one well. Quick diagonal ball. All cut out from Phillips, who is certainly playing as more of a right back than a centre back. Might certainly look to push up that right-hand side. Ball in behind to Nowicki. He's got to try and find that in the night sky. Picks it down, but doesn't really have too much help. Has to do it all himself. Gets it inside now, Nandan. See what they can do. That's surely going to be down the throat of the famous 98, who I've actually discovered in the last 10 minutes of Google is probably the most famous 98 in the history of sports.
Can't find anyone else?
Both Sports Illustrated and Bleacher Report told me Tom Harmon.
Yeah, well, maybe that's where he's gone. He sensed the chances. The Pelican shows some nice fancy feet there. Chips it forward. Nesta out off his line.
I think Ryan Thurley has a dartboard on him or something, because that's about the 6th time he's been taken out in 25 minutes. We see that chip through ball. Short man gets ahead there, and the keeper just takes him right out. And he just hit his head quite hard on the ground there, this Thurley. It's a pretty unforgiving surface, so Wouldn't be surprised if it takes him a minute or two to get up.
Yeah, he's down for the count, but look, he got away with one because the ball wasn't in the vicinity earlier. That one was right there. He's misjudged it, Nesta, and Beachside with a chance to take the lead and to move to the top of the table. And who's it going to be to step up? It looks like big 1-1. Freddie Andrews is striding across.
Yeah, captain taking all the responsibility. It's good to see.
We'll have to wait for Thurley to get some treatment, though, after being collected and smashing his head there. He has been in the wars. Beachside, look, they've started the brighter of the two teams. Save for that Nowicki chance. Beachside probably should be leading. And they've got the chance now to put that on the board as Thurley gets back to his feet. He does look, he doesn't look like he knows where he is, to be honest, Thurley.
He's a tough nut. Ryan Thurley, if he can handle any of my appalling slide tackles for about 4 years, he can surely handle that.
Certainly dazed. I wouldn't be surprised if that's Thurley done for the day, but I'm sure what the medical staff will do their due diligence down there as we move to the big contest taking place in the box. Andrews v Nesta.
Do you think it's too early to do the infamous kick the ball away trick that's now in vogue with goalkeepers?
Given the way Nowicki started this game, absolutely. He is looking like a yellow card's every chance. So I wouldn't be trying that. More to the point, wouldn't be poking the giant either. Not a man I think I'd want to be doing that to.
No.
Andrews steps up to give Beachside the lead. Andrews strikes it home. And what a change this could be. Now it's not too need to chase the game. Beachside have started the brighter and they lead 1-0.
Yeah, very, very coolly taken. Penalty there from Andrews. Nesta went fairly early and he's pretty much just put that down the middle as Andrews and Knights with all to play for. It's up to them now to get that extra goal. It'll be interesting to see what Beachside do. They do have some pretty tall units, but I wouldn't want to sit back too far, especially with Nowicki and Duck Engels up top.
No, I think they've been really good because they've been taking the game. Two Knights putting under pressure. They've been in a little bit of a trouble at the back when they've sat off and allowed the lead to play those balls in. Nowicki getting in behind. I think they've just got to keep doing what's got them to the lead and take the game to them as Foley looks to get in here. Andrews tracking back. Foley turns on it. Sends it back to Bellini. He'll swing one in here, but Gillum should have it covered. And he comes across and takes a very good catch. Nicely done by the young keeper.
Yeah, nice high grab there, getting at the highest point from Gillum. He'll have to bomb this one into the night sky. Fall to Sherman, who wins that header. Having to move. Pearce going to try and keep that in. Actually wins a throw off James. He's still down to 10, I think. Beachside, I think, or is Thurley back out there? We'll have a look at that in a moment as the Pelican just miscontrols it. And Dan is off on his bike. Play with a nice turn of pace earlier, but just underhits that, and the goal scorer just sweeps across and gets that one nicely. Plays it to nobody in particular, and Harrison will switch that wide, and Phillips playing out wide to James, who's got Bellini dropping in short. So we've got Sherman in the middle of the box, so in the middle of the circle. Now Phillips. Sherman not happy at the rest of his team giving him no options. Phillips plays a nice pass to Nowicki. Knight's going a bit more of a patient build up here. As soon as I say that, just plays it right to the Stork, who gives it right back. Nice touch from Bellini, finds Nandan. He's got a 1v1 with the Art Hotel, goes to step over, goes to trick, and proceeds to fall over, but it's over again from Bellini, who's got a very, very crafty left foot, but just got a bit too much loft on that. Probably should have gone a sand wedge rather than a pitching wedge.
As Thurley re-enters the fray, this is warmly received by the strong Beachside contingent out here. It might be a Knights home game, but they're out in force tonight. The Beachside fans, and I think the Knights fans probably behind the goals and in the bar, and the stand very much pro Beachside.
Yeah, I certainly think the row's next to us, but as you mentioned, there's plenty in the stand, and also in KJV Park. I think most of the ones indoors next to the Knights run bar are very partisan Knights fans. As Clay has to launch that one long in the Foley direction, but we're all headed away from the Art Hotel.
Clay will take the throw, but there's a stray ball on the pitch. That's going to be removed, and we'll go take two here. Clay assessing the options, has Foley presenting short, he heads in that direction. Volleyed it straight to McDonald, and T-Mac just turning on it. Worked forward, that was a really poor pass. Well away from the Pelican who's calling for it. Ben Phillips now driving this one right down the middle. And Gillen should be across to collects. Slightly dicey moment there from the Art Hotel, but comfortable enough in the end for the young keeper. Who drills this one down the middle. General Sherman's head was there. On to Foley, now Bellini. Cross to James. Lapola shadowing him. Dark angles. Vociferous shouts of handball. What him doing, and smash it forward and give a chance for Thurley to show he's all right by chasing after this one. He does well there. In the end, it is Thurley, and he's won the throwing, so he's done really well.
Good hustle, and then tells the rest of his teammates to show a bit of the same tenacity as well. Good to see from the young man. I've got to stop calling him young man. He's not actually that young anymore. It's actually just going to be a throw-in to Pearce, who, as we've found already tonight, it's got a very, very long throw on him. He's got about 6 in the box. Another runner looking to come in. Heaves it towards the near post. Actually going to fall to the feet of Andrews, who plays it back. Gets to the byline, and it's good body. Still kept it in, though, and Phillips plays that one out to Bellini. He's got 2 ahead. One is Duck Engels, the other's Matt Nowicki. Goes back to Foley. Jay Clay bursting forward from left back, and it's just hit behind him. And roll out harmlessly for a throw-in.
Wasn't happy with that one, Clay. Just played in behind him.
Yeah, while he's on that burst, you want that played out in front so you got all momentum, but not on this occasion as Sherman looks that one out for another throw. So another 20 metres gain there from Beachside.
Work their way up here, so it's going to be Jones again. This one easily picked off and nodded it into the bullseye where Lapola. We haven't seen much of him yet. What can Lapola do now? He's a skillful player, and he threads this one through wide for Thurley. He tracks it down. He's kept it in. No. Just ran out of real estate there. Did Thurley. Slightly overhit from Lapola. He hasn't seen too much of the ball. It's not really been that sort of game. They've been knocking it fairly direct to those bigger bodies bursting in behind. So far, Beachside, not been really a game of technicians by any stretch.
No, and then the one opportunity Nest has gone to play short there. He's given up the ghost on that and just thumps it along the direction of James, who's looking for Bellini, but can't quite get that. It looks not like there's not any good technical ball players out there. I mean, between Bellini, between Lapola, especially in the, I guess, each team's attacking mids, and then both their forward lines have certainly got a bit of skill and pace, so it's not like they don't have the people out there to do that.
I'll tell you what, they'd certainly love to be able to call upon the services of Declan Foley, who's just a part of the stand in front of us there, looking a little bit frustrated. I think he'd like to be out there. He's such a key player for the Knights, as this one's over the top and Nowicki's in behind. Cuthbertson recovered pretty well, though. Nowicki turns and then gives it away. So, well done there. I think it was Cuthbertson getting back to each side. Nowicki looked in, and that's just a wildly erratic goal from Nandan, fullback.
Leaning to the right, won't keep that ball in, unfortunately, from Nandan. But, yeah, great recovering centre-back work from the big stalk there.
Interesting. I think Clay's moved on to the wing with Nandan playing fullback. I'm not sure if that's temporary, but that's where they've been spending the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, good spot. Good spot. I'd certainly agree with that. Maybe those barnstorming runs forward from Jade Clay haven't just been a fluke. As now James looks for Foley, who's certainly covering plenty of the pitch here tonight. Nice return ball, well coming out from Pearce. Now, big T-Mac looks forward to the Pelican, he just misses Thurley with the big touch. And Knights will look to recover from the keeper. And Harrison, who's very, very wide open. Bellini there, who's getting a very stiff challenge from behind. Great hustle there from Thurley. Now Andrews and Foley competing for it, and Thurley's just completely taken him out there and earns the first slice of cheese. For someone who's had about 6 fouls against and borderline got concussion, it's pretty harsh for him to get the first slice of cheese, but it was a reckless challenge.
Yeah, I don't think you can have too many complaints with that one. Maybe just looking to get back at them there, Thurley, but it was very late. And into the book he goes, some cheddar for Ryan Thurley. 10 minutes remaining in the half here. Beachside very happy with the way this game's going so far. They lead 1-0, and as it stands, they are on top of the table as Harrison smashes this one in the box. Glenorchy up against Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson over the top angles. Great shot block. And then headed away again, only as far as Clay. Lapola got himself in there, and they deal with it in the end. Beachside a couple of times it just sat up for the volley.
Yeah, a few little chances there for Knights, but I've noticed Beachside keeping 3 players up front, so very, very promising on the counter-attack should they manage to clear it. Nandan plays it to nobody in particular. Now the Pelican gets immediately harassed from Foley. Pushed out wide to James, who will now look to go crossfield towards Clay, who wins over the Art Hotel, but Stork manages to get that. Now Foley, who's playing a fairly aimless ball there, no one really in the vicinity, and Gillam will begin the early phase of time wasting in about the 35th minute.
Well, every second counts, I suppose. So why not there for Aaron Gillam. He'll smash this one long. In the middle in the McDonald direction. General Sherman won that one convincingly though. Now he turns back on the ball with the General. Just down the line. Well away from Bellini though. We'll have another look at that challenge from Thurley that sent him into the book. Yeah, you don't get much later than that.
Yeah, even on replay, that actually manages to look worse than what it did to start with.
It's like rocking up for Christmas lunch on New Year's Day there from Thurley. So it'll be a throw in to Beachside. And taken by Pearce.
Not too many options down the line, but he'll just put it on the big head of Andrews, who's going to win that each time.
It's effective.
Yeah.
Gained 30 metres there from just the big heave and then the big flick on. Not a bad combination they've got working, the Pearce-Andrews combo. There's the long throws onto his head, and they're troubling the Knights.
And they're just getting it down towards this corner when Pearce can then heave it even further in the direction of the box, and look who's there at the front, the head of Andrews, and it's going to fall to his feet. Goes the flick on, Thurley gets a touch, and eventually cleared from Phillips. He'll get that for a throw, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar pattern of players to what we've just seen here.
Yeah, real Stoke City a few years ago type stuff here. I'm enjoying it. They're playing to their strengths, and look, James Sherman is a strong customer, but he's been the one having to mark Andrews, and he's nowhere near him in stature as this one's back in his direction. Lays it back to Pearce. 40 goes to Lapola. Miscontrolled. Smash out of there. Nowicki now. Cuthbertson marking him tightly, and McDonald can spread it across. Picked up here by Bevan. What can the closer do? He turns and can get past Jade Clay, who was tracking back to provide some coverage.
Haven't seen much of Bevan really this match, but I don't expect to see him to the 80th minute mark given his namesake.
Yeah, look, if they need someone to score a 90th minute winner, he's the one you'd be looking for, I reckon. There's some action on the Knights bench, so Praviti looks like he's going to introduce the angle grinder as this one goes across the face, so not liking what he's seeing, and he's going to pull out the trump card early, it would seem. The early sub about to be pulled, and the angle grinder, not a bad ace to have up your sleeve.
Very impressive ace to have up your sleeve. It's, especially in the 38th minute. It's an interesting time to bring someone in, pretty close to half time, but just getting a bit of the legs warm, I guess.
Well, they've not looked particularly good, Knights, so I think Praviti's just sending a message perhaps here. He's not going to wait for things to happen. You've got to force the issue, especially now they're chasing the game. So we'll wait and see who he comes on for, and maybe it's Jay Clay, and that's why we've seen Clay pushed onto a wing. Perhaps he's not moving as well, though. He's running all right for this one as Foley picks it up and looks to thread it through to the aforementioned Clay, who stretches and smashes into the side netting.
No injury concerns there from Jay Clay. He's got a very nice sprint on him.
Yeah, he hadn't been moving terribly well a minute earlier, but as soon as he sensed the chance there, he was off to the races. That was not the best decision, though, trying to smash that one in from there. Should have squared it, surely.
He surely should have, as it's Nandan going back to left back with Kudos now going to left wing, and Jay Clay moving back his more familiar left back role. So sub there from Nandan. too many injury concerns, but it was a bit of a shake of the head there, so we'll try and see what happened there to Nandan.
I reckon he's just made way for Engels. I think he's just going, I've got to get him on. Maybe he didn't think Engels had a full 90 minutes in him, but he's got an hour in him. So on he comes, and an immediate impact. Competing for that one. And can Kurt Engels change things up as we tick towards half-time. It has been a fascinating first 40 minutes.
Was it Kill that came on for Popovic in the Uruguay game at about the 30-odd minute mark?
It was very early, that's for sure.
I remember it was Popper coming off. I can't remember who came on.
He certainly came on early. I think you might be right with that one. But we'll wait and see if Kurt Engels can make an impact for his side. There's his first contribution. Out leaping, big 1-1. So a real springy step for Kurtie Engels. There's a chance to cross this one. Takes a little deflection, then a wiki direction. Steered away by Jones. Just left there in the end for Pearce to smash away, and Harrison will be up against the Pelican. A couple of former Zebras there.
Good hustle there from the Pelican. If he didn't chase that one down, Harrison would have had plenty of time to rebuild, but it ends up being a Beachside throw in their own half. So, well, he hasn't had too many touches on the ball, the Pelican. He does do that job very well.
Well, former teammates at Zebras last year, so no doubt be quite familiar with each other's games. As this one's thrown along. And there is the Pelican turning nicely and crossing, but just a bit too central. Engels just waited a little, dwelling on it, allowing the Beachside player in, and they've looked to get the ball back here. They've done so well. A driving cross and a safe bare hands this time from Nesto, who's got the audacity to complain about the treatment he received afterwards.
Yeah, given other events in this game, that is rather audacious as see Pearce get underneath that, but not quite hit it where he wanted it to. Fag will clean up the mess. Down the general, we'll get it to Clay, who'll get out to Kurdos, who has an enormous fresh airy, and that'll be out for a throw. The Art Hotel launches that one down the wing, but fortunately nobody in particular. Now Engels, get that to Andrews, who misplaces that one in the Bellini direction. Should have got his foot on it. Now they'll find Sherman, and Engels has been left completely alone if the Sherman can get it to him. Eventually gets there. 1v1 against Jones. Double step over, and Jones was not having a bar of it. We'll go back for take two. Low ball, effectively cleared there by Andrews. So another corner kick in a promising area for Knights.
And a razzle-dazzle from the angle grinder here, stepping in and nicely defended by Henry Jones, who's got his hands full. And Engels running at him. And the corner will be taken by James. And get close towards the half. It's crossed in, middle of the box, just over Sherman's head. And so it's going to be Clay rather to get back in it. Lunged away, only as far as Foley. Wide to James, a chance to swing something in here. He does just that. Won't get it past Henry Fagg. Now Andrews should be favoured. Just waited, and Harrison came from his blind side, and Phillips 2-on-1 developing there, but he was always favourite to win the ball, and he did so. Here's the big stalk. Across to Pearce. Here's to Bevan. Bevan down the line, looking for the run with the Pelican. Kurt Engels is balled up on the other flank and couldn't quite control that one.
Everyone just seems to be swapping sides here. We've got James down this side, Kurt on the far side. Well, I think they have finally made that change, so Kurt's already changed position after 3 minutes of being on the pitch.
Lost that first duel with Jones, so go have a crack at Pearce. I don't know, just trying to mix things up, shuffling the deck a little Profiti, because the first half really hasn't gone to plan.
He's getting a bit of try before you buy before his half-time speech, I think.
Maybe another long throw. He sent the Andrews direction. He flicks on, Engels away. Get another chance to play it back in, but it's a heavy touch on this occasion from Pearce, and the goal kick will be taken by Nowicki.
2 minutes left in this half. The Knights to make something happen. We'll see what they can do with that. James gets pushed underneath it from the Art Hotel, who after a sketchy start has been rather solid as the game's grown on.
Yeah, I thought he might be one they targeted on the first few minutes, but he stood up well. There's Henry Jones. He's had a good first half here. throws it in. Hit it away by the general. Foley. Harrison forwards. Andrews comes in. Not messing about. Well read by Fag. Just chips this one up in the air. And Nesta should be able to collect that one.
Really sensing that there's not much time left. Nesta gets it out quickly. Nice flick from Engels. Nearly gets the return ball, but Donald gets in the way. Oh, lovely ball down the sideline. Thurley should get onto that. He's got Harrison for company. Manages to get it under, but heavy touches rolled out for a goal kick as we head in to stoppage time in the first half. Beachside in the lead, both on the field and in the ladder. And big battle there with Sherman, who's just about gets taken out from Andrews afterwards. Playing on cold. Now falls to Thurley. Nice turn to get away from his marker. Now the second help from Sherman's just that one step too far, and he'll launch that forward. Very, very acrobatic clearance from Fag. Andrews gets in front of Foley. Now to Polar. Out to the Pelican. He's asking for option short. Goes for the diagonal. And it's a bit short here. Thurley's in! And he's put it over the top. He's put the shirt over his head. That should have been 2-0 to Beachside in stoppage time from certainly probably their most potent outlet.
Well, he's just been gifted this one, and he's declined it. Smashes it over the top, and breathing a big sigh of relief is Benny Phillips, who just seemed to have gift-wrapped him a goal. And Thurley has smashed it over the top. Will they rue that one? That could be a really big moment as we head towards half-time. This one's chipped forward. Oh, the Pelican in behind. It might not matter if he can finish. He drills it. Yes, it out there onto the post, I think. Oh, the Pelican can't believe it. Somehow, Knights look like they're going to get in to half-time 1-0 down. Nesta got a little bit, just enough to put it onto the post. Oh, misjudged by Clay. There's not much in this. He's nutmegged himself onto the post. And that is inches agonising for Beachside, who should be 2 to the good.
They certainly should. Let's see what they can do from this corner. Goes back post. Nesta gets cluttered out. Banged in the head, but free kick given on the keeper. Oh, it's all happening down the Beachside end here. The Pelican has put in a delightful ball into the 6-yard box. Nesta with 2 hands and just gets it knocked out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it was body first, so fair enough from the keeper there. And I don't think Beachside will want this half to end. Knights, I think, just want to get in the sheds. The momentum that Beachside have got at the moment. Now Engels gets it down the line to the Wiki, who's got the pace advantage. Cuthbertson has the inside running. Bit of a mistouch there, and Gillam will eventually clear that away. Poison Ivy not wanting this game to stop, and I don't blame him.
Nah, fair enough. Let's keep going. I'm thoroughly enjoying this contest, Monty. Let's have 5 minutes of added time in the first half. All the action is going on. Knights almost in at the other end here, and what a real blow that would have been to Beachside if it had gone in 1-1 after a couple of almost moments there for them. Certainly that Thurley miss had to do better with that one. Foley works it forward, and they still might be able to get level here. Knights. Nowicki's in. He dwells on it and punches it across, well away, only as far as Foley. Another chance. He squares it. There was absolutely no one there for it though. Sherman was in a deeper position. James tracking back. Foley in the middle has got a little bit of space. Andrews now comes to close him down. Foley lofting it just wide. Never quite had enough bend on it as Knights turn the screws now.
I'm surprised they haven't gone that lofted option more. We've talked about the height of the keeper, while he's got very, very good shot stopping ability, as does young Gillam. As we'll see, the goal kick taken. Still haven't seen a look at the watch from the Poison Ivy.
Well, I suppose there was that big stoppage when Thurley went down. There was the penalty. There's been a few stoppages in this one, but I would have thought they'd have to be coming to an end soon here as we tick to 4 minutes, and that will do. The first half, a frenetic first half, brought to an end here. Beachside, a goal to the good, and Beachside, as it stands, would be league champions if this holds. They should be a step closer. Thurley squandering a great chance, and then the Pelican hitting the post. But as we head into the sheds, this is the moment. King Brady Andrews smashing away a penalty that, well, they'd fair claims to say they should have had earlier in the half, but weren't awarded. They finally got one. And I'd say very good value for their lead, Fuzzy.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree. A bit sketchy in the first 15 minutes, maybe a bit of nerves, but since then, outside of one or two occasional chances from Knights, it's really been Beachside dominating, and they've had probably 3 extra chances to put even more of a seal on it. So go through the highlights of that first half. It's been a seesawing battle. It's been absolutely engaging, and I personally cannot wait for the second half.
Yeah, it's been one of the better halves of football I've seen in a while. I hope the second half can match it. I think you might. We saw Knights looking to hit back late in the half. They need to. They have to score. Can they do it? We will find out on the other side of the halftime break. We leave you with the highlights. That was one that could have been a penalty. They would get their penalty eventually, but it's been a physical contest. It's been thoroughly engaging. And we'll see you shortly with the second 45 of it. Species there for a moment. Work to duck angles. If you change again, he plays into it. Here's a big check for Knights! And he puts them right at the post. Foul curled back in by Nan. And a test for Gillum, who rather flaps out. He'll get cleaned up. So here's the free kick. And he is a very...
Henry F. bombed that into the box. On the chest of Andrews. Volleys. A great save, Nesta. Now Thurley on the follow-up. Nearly touched in. How has that not got in? And Daniel managed to recover. Foul given. One back again. That's surely a foul from Harrison. And a bit fiery.
Gracious effort, but shaping. He's just going to dink one into the back post and said Pierce is there, but he couldn't quite reach it on the lunge. Maybe that's where he's going. He sensed the chances. The Pelican showed some nice fancy feet there. Chips it forward. Nesta out off his line. Andrews steps up to give Beachside the lead. Glenorchy strikes it home. And what a change this could be. Now it's Knights who need to chase the game. Brings it back to Bellini. He'll swing one in here, but Gillum should have it covered. Here comes across and takes a very good catch. Nicely done.
The Art Hotel goes to step over, goes to Tricken. Proceeds to fall over Roberts. Over again from Bellini, who's very, very crafty. Now Andrews and Foley competing for it. Thurley's just completely taken him out there and earns the first slice of cheese. For someone who's had about 6 fouls against and borderline got concussion, it's pretty hard.
This one, as Foley picks it up and looks to thread it through to the aforementioned Clay, stretches and smashes into the side netting.
No injury concerns there from Jake.
Away for Engels. He's just going, we've got to get him on. Maybe he didn't think Engels had a full 9 minutes and he's somewhere in, and then to get the ball back here. Done so well, a driving cross and a safe bearings this time for Nesta, who's got the audacity to complain about.
He gets there, 1v1 against Jones, double step over, and Jones is not having a bar of it. We go back for take 2. Ball effectively cleared there by Andrews. Out to the Pelican. He's asking for option short, the diagonal, and it's a bit short here. Thurley's in! And he's put it over the top. He's put the shirt over his head. That should have been 2-0 to beat.
As we head towards half time, this one's just forward. Oh, the Pelican in behind. It might not matter if he can finish. He drills it past the out to the post, I think. Oh, the Pelican can't believe it. Somehow, nice. It should be 2 to the good.
They certainly should. Let's see what they can do from this corner. Goes back post. Nesta gets cluttered out, banged in the head, but free kick. Even on the keeper.
Nowicki's in. He dwells on it and punches it across, well away. Only as far as Foley. Another chance He squares it. There was absolutely no. In the middle, has got a little bit of space. Andrews now comes to close him down. Foley lofting it just wide. Never quite have enough bend. Welcome back here for the second half, and what a second half we have in prospect. It's Beachside 1, Glenorchy Knights 0, which means Beachside are currently sitting top. Knights, we've got to chase this game. They've Fortunate they're not further down, although they did have a good couple of chances to end the half, but in the moments beforehand, Beachside could well have made it too. This should be an absolute humdinger of a second half, Paul Hunt. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting more as the same as they've no mucking about from Poison Ivy. The kickoff's already happened. Foley getting that down. Oh, look, I'm expecting more of the same. I think the last 20 minutes here is going to be squeaky bum time. None of this last 5 minutes or stoppage time. It's going to be most of this second half for fans of both sides. Just to remind you out there of the situation, Beachside need a win to win the title. Knights need a win or a draw. So at the moment, it is all Beachside, with Knights having to do the chasing as Lapolla wins that header. So that'll be out for a Knights throw. As we check that ladder before the game, as you can see, as it stands, Beachside are now on 47 points and Glenorchy Knights still on 46 as Gillam manages to claim that one. And down here, Ryan Thurley in front of us is just absolutely screaming for it in about 50 yards of space. Still thoroughly ignored, and James will get that one off the goal kick. Given away cheaply, but manages to get it back. Bit better pass here to Engels. Gets it to the brother Duck, but very well cut out from Henry. Now can the Pelican get a touch? Not quite. As we go moving along in the direction of the Art Hotel. So, and time wasting already starting. No worrying about fetching the ball there from Henry Jones. No Porter services offered there, and he launches it long towards Andrews. Finally misses out on a header for one of the first times in this match. Plays it to Thurley. He's got Phillips to beat. Looks to cut inside. Surrounded by 3 Knights players who just surrounded him like a hawk. And Foley tries to get the return ball off Bellini, but a bit overhit. So pretty similar pattern to how the first half started. A bit scrappy, and then both teams eventually get in their rhythm. Phillips controls with the head and manages to get it out wide to Engels, who's pressured from behind. Did not see that coming. Wiki slides in on Andrews, who's got plenty of time, plays a nice diagonal ball. Will this stay in for Thurley? Probably going to have to hit this first time to keep it in. Only as far as Nesta, so we'll see what the Knights can do to try and relieve some pressure and get that all-important goal.
Yeah, just ran out of room there, Thurley, but promising start there as the big general gets his foot on the ball. Wants something from a teammate, puts it out in front of James. He looks to skip around Pearce, who played it out off him and wins the throw in for Beachside. They'll no doubt look to heave this one again. Been told to retreat, so after successfully stealing Eric, the combined about 200 yards in the first half, he's been sent back. And he'll launch this one, headed down. Foley works it to Bellini, well shut down by 1-1. Just a bit too hot there for the Pelican, couldn't control it, and Tyler Harrison leads back in the race. Chips it down the line over the head of James, and perhaps not expecting the ball, Pearce. He deflects out off him. Or a throw in the way of Knights.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much Beachside push forward here, as it's a nice touch from Bellini onto the head of the goal scorer Andrews. But only as far as the throw in, which the centre back Phillips will take. Showing some attacking verve early, our Knights, getting the centre back to take the throw in. Forward to Nowicki. Very, very nice bit of techers there from Nowicki. Completely fools Andrews, all ends up, plays it into Foley. Looks for the cutback and well cut out from Henry Fagg. Now Lapolla, nice touch to himself, and the Pelicans in. Offside called. That was a very tight call, which we were in front of here. I don't know what you thought about that calling.
Well, that camera angle's not going to tell you much, but I thought he timed his run perfectly, but the flag was up straight away. The Pelicans certainly thought he was onside. He was not having it, but the flag denies him. The Knights let off the hook there.
I mean, our camera's not quite in line, but it even looked like from that angle that he was in line while running, so very, very tight call.
Here's Nowicki turning on it. Well shut down though. He'll get a second crack. He drives at the defence now. Across to James. It's around Pearce, then round Lapolla. Did it nicely, worked it to Foley. Links up with the Engel grinder, chips it in there. That's surely handball. And it is, and a free kick in a very promising position, this one.
Yeah, you've got to give those handballs. There's not much as a defender you can do, as it has just been whacked into. But arm was just hanging out a bit. And interesting to see who takes this, whether it'll be Sherman or James. I think Sherman's told everyone to clear off.
Oh, there's no doubt who's taking this, Bunty.
Hey, James has taken the corner and is still there.
You really think the general is just going to say, yeah, you have a crack, mate. There's one man for this moment, and that is the big General Sherman. He'll step up and lays it off. Oh, there you go. He drives it. Well blocked. And then smashed well wide by Engels. So, well, I'm surprised by the generosity of the general, and in the end, I think he would have been better off taking the shot himself.
Oh, I certainly think he would have been, but yeah, James had a little bit of a tame shot. Yeah, well cleared. You've got 3 beachside bodies in there, and then just a very, very loose clearance there from Engels, who, now, not sure if he got a touch on that one. He did, so very good field position now for beachside.
Real Hobart Zebras field for that bit of play there. You had, from last year, you had Sherman laying it off, and then Fag blocking away, and Engels on the rebound. No shortage of them in these two lineups. As the Pelican, another one of that contingent. Can't control. That one's out of play there on the far side.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to lose counter form as Zebras players here. As the ball gets down the line and Glenorchy almost ends up being tumbled out over the fence. Eventually a beachside throw. Lack of Knights ball boys on that side of the field, which I hope doesn't come to haunt them later on, as beachside can just take all the time in the world in their ball retrieval here.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be in any hurry at all. And why would they be?
That was a good 30 seconds, that one.
A 1-goal lead. We saw in the first half. Referee's happy to allow them to keep going in stoppage time. We'll love that 4-minute period. Hope for a bit more of that as the drama unfolds. Oh, a lovely little skillful move there from the Pelican, but then he ran into Jay Clay, who defended the flank well. Behind it goes, and another chance for a big heave from Pearce towards Big Andrews, who's lumbering forwards here. I don't think there'll be anything other than that coming up on the beachside. It's been a tactic that's served them well. Andrews just hovering at the near post. And now he presents, and instead they do change the routine up, and that's the end product. Just keep going to the big 1-1, I reckon.
Go with what you know. What was working all first half, Andrews pulled off inside, thrown well away from him, and managed to fall out for a goal kick, but that's fallen right to the head of Andrews like a magnet. Apollo with a chip through ball. Now Thurley's got it. 1v1 step over, gets on the left foot and just drives that one over into the car park. Another opportunity there before beachside goes to waste.
Forced him pretty wide there, defended nicely. It was a lovely little ball over the top there from Lapola to release him. Just caught centre back, sneaking in. Some fancy footwork there to get past Phillips, but never looked like hitting the back of the net. It was always going wide. Nesta gets us restarted. One by Engels. Cuthbertson up against Duck Engels. The Stork versus the Duck. One for the avian enthusiasts out there. Ornithologists or whatever they are.
Yeah,
occasion for them.
Yeah, I can't even say that word.
Something long beginning with an O at any rate.
Ornithology. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's I think you're on a winner there, but we might just move away from that as the aforementioned Duck works it to his sibling. And the Engel grinder thinks about the cross and then cuts inside. Class from the Engel grinder. And then the clear is deflected. And in the end just pops up for Ryan Gillum, who might want to go to the early release because Thurley was in acres of space. He went to the middle instead where Sherman was up against Bevan. Stretching Engels gets a toe to it, but he's got this situation under control through the Art Hotel. And back to Ryan Gillum. Smashed it in the direction of the Pelican. Took it down nicely. And lays it back. Smashed it in the air. And again, Route 1 football from Beachside. No one on the end of it this time, but it served them well, the direct style. Here's Ben Phillips for Knights. Can they build something from the back? They've not looked particularly likely throughout this game so far. They've not hit top gear. There's Nowicki tracking the ball. Shows some good strength to shield it. Works back. He's running out of room though. They've done well to work it to Sherman. And the big general zigs and zags and coughs it up to Henry Fagg. Two former zebra skippers. Along they go. Tyler Harrison smashes it out of there. Big 1-1's going to win that against Nowicki. Two number 8s, real physical customers. After some aerial ping pong, it deflects out of play.
Talking before the game, if it turns into a bit of a scrap, you've got a fancy Beachside, and it's what's happening. Oh, there's 10 minutes of this half, not too much flowing fluid football. Bellini really wants the free kick, and the Pelican is in. He's got one over, goes the chip. Oh, he's just put it over as the Pelican. It was a golden opportunity. You can smile about it now. That was a glorious opportunity. Taken away from Bellini, who was sat on his backside, saw the keeper well off his line, and he's not missed by much.
Yeah, don't mind that from the Pelican. It was an audacious attempt, but Tyler Harrison was peeling off to cover the pass to his teammate in support. They said, all right, we're going to back in that you can't pull this shot off. That was the percentage they played. Almost did it, but not quite. They didn't mind it. A big Whitehall. Wouldn't that have been some way to write yourself into folklore and win a league title with a goal like that?
I would have loved to have seen the celebration if that went in. That would have been something else. As see Knights now in the free kick and a good opportunity. Got 5 already in the box. Still keeping 3 back as Beachside got 3 pushed up. So great counter-attacking opportunities. The ball whipped into the middle and flicked over the top eventually.
I feel like the mood in the ground's just changed a little in this second half, Paul Hunt. There was pure excitement in the first half. I think it's just striking home for a few of these Beachside fans how close they are to pulling this off. And nervousness appears to be settling in, just quiet murmurs here in the crowd.
Yeah, the noise level's certainly dampened a bit, more out of nerves than anything else, as we see Phillips and Thurley going up against each other. And I certainly agree, it's got a bit more whispery in the crowd here.
Just a nervous anticipation. I know they're 33 minutes away from winning the league title. And this one's allowed to run. Not well kept in the end there by Harrison. But Beachside have won it back here. Plays it in to Thurley. Back to Bevan. Centres it for Lapola. Jinks onto the left. Oh, lunging challenge was fantastic from Foley. Only went as far as the Pelican though. Wonderful first time ball, and the volley is denied spectacularly by Jimmy Nestor. McDonald running onto it. It was the perfect set play and foiled by the Knights keeper.
What a save from Nestor. It's just fallen out to Whitehall. He's put in a delicious ball. McDonald ghosting in with all
Head.
With the head. Of course he meant that, did Nestor?
Oh.
He meant that.
Save with the scone. Jimmy Nestor.
Oh, I tell you what.
That's an inch higher and it's in the back of the net too. Jimmy Nestor.
Off the scod.
Oh,
yeah.
uses the head.
Yeah, do like a dimmy in and around the face and mouth area, but that's another level. As we see Whitehall into the back post. Andrews gets up off the bar. Scrap. And it's effectually cleared. It's all happening here at KGB. And Nestor is down on the ground. Still in a bit of a state. How Andrews has missed that, I've got no idea.
It's like 1-1 in the tunnel when the Wildlings attack the wall. He's just going in and gone bang. And he's deigned to smash it into the post from 2 yards out. The big behemoth came flying through. And somehow Knights are not down by 2. Oh,
he's got beaten the punch in Nestor and just rifled it there.
Right
onto the crossbar. It could have fallen everywhere and it just fell to where there's about 6 Knights players. Well, this is some drama here in this Southern Championship title decider. Good to see Nestor back on his feet. And he does the sporting thing and give that back to Beachside.
And what a game this is developing into. Beachside somehow only a goal to the good Knights hanging on, but look, as far as they're concerned, 1 goal to them and they're back on top of the table, so they've just got to keep digging in here, and Beachside may end up ruining some of these chances that have gone begging for him. Here's the magician Bellini, works it to Foley, but just put it too far out in front of him there. Wasn't his best work. Oh, that was tidy for Andrews, and then he gets Clearfield in the middle there by Foley.
Advantage could have been played. Pierce was an acre of space as Andrews turns away from Foley rather nicely. And those nerves of the Beachside fans could have been turned into sheer jubilation in the last 5 minutes.
And instead, they just get even more nervous, knowing they've had the chances. Andrews at the back now is interesting as he directs this one forward, and it's won by the General Sherman. Duck angles now, broken up by Andrews. Did it nicely. Chipped forward in the direction there of Bevan. And Nesta will collect. So they're going to build from the back here, Knights. Phillips across to his partner in Harrison. Sherman, first time to James, who can stroll forward here. Samuel James. Caddy's run held up, goes into the middle for General Sherman. Now Phillips from side to side. He patiently probed, looking for an opening. They're slowly building here. Now the angle grinder. Lovely little ball in there. Might sit for Bellini. His shot was blocked. Foley will get back on it for Knights. The danger not past. Squares it to Bellini. Lovely return ball to Foley. Crosses. Too much on it for the Duck in the middle. He's not that tall. Just overcooked it. That was beautifully crafted by Knights. That was probably their best worked play of the night. But now they're going to have to get on the defence because this one's chipped down the line for the Pelican. He's straining the sinews. Whitehall. He gets there and sends it into the mixer. And Nesta showed a safe pair of hands.
And he needed to, as Bevan was right behind him on the back there. End-to-end stuff. That build-up from the Knights before, from one end to the other of about 15 passes, was majestic. And what we do have to remind ourselves that the Knights only need one goal. We're getting very excited over these Beachside chances, but this can change in an instant. And Foley will look to do that through Bellini now to Wiki. Good six back for Beachside already. He's got James on the overlap. He'll eventually use James, who'll whip it in with the left foot near post. Shank clearance and an own goal! It's in! It's an own goal from Beachside and Knights. As soon as we said they could be back in this with a goal, they are. A subdued celebration all round. And I'm not sure who's got that.
Lapola, I think.
Well, you think it was Lapola?
It is, and
and it's all on it. Someone's on the deck. Benny Whitehall is absolutely red hot.
Oh, Nowicki's in trouble here. That was unnecessary. And the referee's got a decision to make here. Nowicki got in trouble last time they played. I think he's in trouble. It'll be a slice. But of what is the question? Poison Ivy tells everyone to clear off, and he's just going to consult. Just cool heads prevailing from the refereeing, but there wasn't much.
And the person on the deck again was Ryan Thurley, who has been on the canvas more than a knocked-out boxer.
Oh, jeez, that own goal though. It was a missed clearance from Lapola. He's beaten his own keeper Gillum. We'll have a look at it.
It's a great replay of him stretching.
Not the replay we're after there, but
as we're awaiting the card here. Ivy, who else is over?
I reckon it'll just be a slice of cheese, but we'll have a wait and see. Let's have a look at this goal, which led to the scuffle. It was crossed in from James and just wrong footing. Gillum gets a hand to it, can't keep it out, not a strong enough hand. And wouldn't that be the cruelest way to lose the title? And it's a slice of tomato for Matthew Nowicki. He's off. The Knights are down to 10. Who's writing the scripts? You couldn't make this drama up for a second time in 2 games. Against Beachside, Nowicki has been sent from the pitch, this time with 27 to go. Beachside have 27 minutes to get a goal and win the title. But it's going to be against a 10-man Knights outfit.
And that's off for Ryan Thurley. Well, that's his second cheese.
It's a second cheese.
It's another tomato for Ryan Thurley, who's been absolutely poleaxed from pillar to post in this game and has somehow managed to get sent off. What for, I don't know. It was a late challenge, the first slice of cheddar. Slice of cheese, sorry.
I don't know what Thurley. I saw Nowicki when I think it was Lapola going back. He was letting him know all about the fact that he just scored that goal, and he just went up and got him into the headlock from behind.
But what
was unnecessary? Don't know. Then there was a scuffle. Thurley must have done something in that scuffle, which has just earned a yellow. and Beachside are down to 10. Just when you think this game could not be any more dramatic, we're going to have a little 10-a-side for the final half an hour.
There we are, and I think Duck Engels has also got himself a slice of cheese in amongst all that excitement.
Absolute scenes here at KG5, pure chaos. And as it stands, Knights are back on top.
Tell you what, here we go.
Here
We've
it
got a
is.
replay. Let's have a look. Thurley goes over, just gives Ethan Engels a bit of a shove.
And in comes Nowicki. He didn't like that. He throws a bit.
Oh, it's an arm out there. You can't do
No,
that. You can't do that either. That's
Goes him in the headlock. So he slams him to the deck.
yeah, you can't do that.
There goes Nowicki.
Tell you
And
what.
here comes Whitehall and all.
Oh, Sherman.
The General gets his wax in there. This is WWE type stuff breaking out. This is absolute chaos. Big Poison Ivy holding back a furious Whitehall.
That image of Ivan just trying to hold back Ben Whitehall is one that's going to stay with me for a long time. That is absolute
The
scenes.
cool lets prevail. So Thurley must have got it for that initial act. He instigated it. So a cheese for instigating. He gets his second cheese. Nowicki off for the headlock. End product, both teams are down to 10. Scores are 1-1. Knights are on top. Let's go again.
Tell you what, I've tried to etch this scarred memory from my mind. This is, we'll break that tangent. Duck Engels won't quite get to that. I was going to say I've suppressed the memory of Aguero 94. This has got nothing on that. This is far more exciting. As we'll see, go forward in the direction of McDonald. He'll try and play DeFago. He tries to chip the keeper, which wasn't a bad option. And now Cooler Heads just try to need to prevail somehow. In 23 minutes, both teams down to 10, and Beachside still need that goal. As it stands, Knights will win the league title here in the Vivo Southern Championships.
Well, the rain coming just to add that little extra element as Big 1-1 gets his foot on it, drives it into the box. Away from Bevan, one back by McDonald's. 10v10 it is, they chip it forward. Oh, a lovely little turn from Bevan, scrapping away was Foley. Won it back for his side. Bellini now to Duck Engels, who sets it out in front of the big stalk, says, I've got you for pace. But he took it too wide and he runs out of room.
Didn't need to, he ran out of room on this KJV pitch. It's a quick throw in, they'll look to switch the play here, Beachside. Ends up going back down to Pearce. Oh, that's a crunching challenge from Foley. He's immediately up saying, what else do you expect me to do? It was a bit late.
Slice of cheese.
Very, very well earned cheddar there for Hugh Foley.
So there's another one into the book. We have a bit of added time, so probably got around about 27, 28 minutes here left in this one. But surely there's more twists and turns to come in this one. Smashes it forward. Plenty of tall timber there. Andrews wins the header. All unconvincingly cleared, but Fag got long-footed, and then Phillips is able to whisk it away. And they survive their Knights. And Beachside, an own goal. They've hit the post twice. They've missed two absolute sitters. If they don't win this one, they'll have themselves to blame. And they have felt the Knights come back here. And they now just need to sit back and protect. Both sides down to 10. It's been the most dramatic of evenings. I've seldom seen a game with more in it through 70 minutes. Surely there's got to be more to come.
I have no idea what twist is left in this game. Given what the first 70's like, there's got to be something in this last 20. And it's interesting to see Knights now just taking their time for these throw-ins. Not necessarily time wasting, but just taking it nice and easy. As that's going to go to the head of Duck Engels. And just control that well in general. There's a return ball to Bellini. On the left wing is the fresher legs of Kurt Engels. And tries to get past and just manages to knock that out of play. Looking for the free kick. Not given, as he pretty much just kicked that out of play, then ran into the defender.
Yeah, the Art Hotel did very well there again. Just stood up to the test. And he'll take the throw in the direction of Andrews. He got sandwiched between two Knights there. The Engel grinder scrapping away. Not too pleased there as Big 1-1 with that decision. But it'll be a Knights throw in. Sends it down the line. As the calmness seems to have been restored here for the time being. Cuthbertson forwards. Foley works it across to Clay, who gets dealt with after he kicked it. What are you talking about, says White Hot. Pelican.
He'd be very wise to take a few step backs here with Whitehall. He's teetering very close to a cheddar, which, to be fair, is his style of play anyway.
I'll be disappointed if he's not booked by the end of it, to be honest. It'd be un-Whitehall-like. There's running at the defence. Here is the angle grinder. He lays it back to Foley. Now Bellini. Knights perhaps just looking to take the sting out of things a little and knock the ball around, working it patiently. But they've turned it over here. Henry Fagg wins it back, works it to Whitehall. Sends it wide. Willing runner in Fagg, but it's set too far in front of him, and James can smash it forwards. Turned into a pretty dangerous ball too. Cuthbertson dueling with Duck Engels. And he did it nicely, did the big stalk, showed his experience. Lapola, he'll be on a mission to redeem himself here in the last 20 minutes. It's his own goal that has this one squared up. Phillips puts Bevan to the ground, won the head up, fairly done. Knights will chip it forwards. It's eluding the angle grinder and a throw in Beachside's way.
And both teams looking at making a sub, especially Beachside here. As we'll see Bevan, who was just stretching his legs before. A very good 70-minute shift. There's Ryan Bevan, but
Nicholas McDonald, the man replacing him. So 2 McDonalds out there.
Yeah,
for Beachside.
Probably a like-for-like placement, I'd say. It's hard to tell with 10 men. But he was certainly a midfielder with a good attacking run is the new McDonald. As that header is won by the angle grinder. Ethan managed to get it. Foley bursting through and eventually thumped clear. James will pick that one up. Foley's got some space. Angle's making a diagonal run. Eventually looks back post to the angle grinder, but he just heads that one out for a goal kick. So after a relatively chaotic 5 to 10 minutes, it's slowed down as much as it can here for a title decider. And Beachside surely should be getting a bit more of a hurry on here. All players have pretty much moved up to the halfway line. As that's launched by number 98 in the direction of Lapola, who's pointing out to it from the general. Angles. Cuthbertson. Pearce has got plenty of space down this grandstand side to work with. Eventually goes down the line. Whitehall is going to end up with it. Plays a first-time ball with Lapola running in, and Nesta comes out well to claim. And he'll try and put Jay Clay on his bike to attack again.
Forward they go. Kurt Engels on the ball. Angle grinder drifting inside. Drew 3 defenders and then spit it up. Couldn't quite control it there. There's the sibling. Now forward they go to the big angry Pelican. Whitehall rather. Now here's the substitute. McDonald, well won. Tyler Harrison came storming through. And he's jumped up into the attack here too, the Knights centre back. He doesn't care, they're down to 10. He's striding for big Tyler Harrison. It was broken up in the end. And Beachside now will look to counter back the other way. Definitely left there by the Pelican. Here's the substitute, McDonald. Shut down by James. General Sherman sliding in there. Oh, Sol Campbell-esque. McDonald beaten to the ball and smashed away by Phillips. Oh, every touch here drawing the oohs and ahs of the crowd. They'll look to work it through Fagg. He chips it, stretches over the top there. Foley can calm things down here. Works it across to James, and James has just been smash it forward every time he gets it in the last 10 minutes.
Knights have been pressured. They've pretty much everyone but Duck Engels back, so they got all 9 of the rest of their players back as Pearce looks to play the 1-2. Gets the return ball. He's got Whitehall after it short, but good defence there from Foley, who seeds a throw in. He's heaving in the big ones, is Foley there.
He's made some great slide tackles today. He's on a cheese and he still doesn't care. He's sliding in there. It just reminds me of that wonderful compilation video we saw of the Knights leading in the Lacquer Cup final. I think that could have a new edition after today with a few of these challenges that have flown in, and certainly with the
I was going to say, I don't like condoning the red card, but if there is not a YouTube video of that by the end of the week, I'll be disappointed in the Knights production.
Yes, this one is worked forward. Beachside knocking on the door. They've probably got 20 minutes to try and find an equaliser, or it'll be or a winner rather, and it'll be Knights' title, and a free kick is blown. A free kick in a very promising position, this one, and they'll send all the cavalry forwards.
Get absolutely everyone up. You'd probably just keep McDonald and Lapola back. Two of probably the shortest players in the Southern Championship, let alone the Beachside team.
Yeah, be trying to smack this one on the Bernie Andrews head, I think. He just has a couple of words of encouragement for his teammates here. And a chance to swing it in. There is plenty of bodies for Beachside here. Can the Pelican pick any of them out? What's he got in his lockup? Eddie Whitehall standing over the ball. The Polar at the top of the box. And they've got 5 bodies in there. And the substitute McDonald working forwards too. It's all 9 plus the keeper back for the Knights.
Tell you what, I'd be tempted to play at the top of the box here.
McDonald just lurking and everyone's so deep in there. Could be an option. But I reckon this will just be swung into the mixer in the direction, the big 1-1. We've got a real delay here.
He's not happy with something behind the goal, I think. I've just seen the match manager walk around, and Ivan is not letting this play go ahead.
Why are we waiting? A chance here for the Pelican, just keeping us in anticipation here. Well,
it's certainly a long enough delay here.
Bordering on tedious, I would say. Finally, the whistle's gone. He swings it into the mixer. Couldn't beat the first man, repelled by Bellini, and it fell to Engels, and they're out here, the Knights. They're storming on the counter. Engels to Engels, brilliantly shut down though. Fantastic challenge, but Engels kept on keeping on, and he's going to try and run it behind, but well defended. Brilliantly done there by Pearce.
Great covering defence there from Pearce as the quick throw in. Taken towards Bellini. He's got both Engels and James, manages to get Engels on his left. And Foley will return that back out. Still onside is Bellini, cuts it in. And Pearce nicely gets that round Bellini. Few olays and Lapola's going to get on his bike in a foot race with Harrison. And eventually just slips, still going to pressure. James will pick that up on the grandstand side here with plenty of time. Look towards Duck Engels, it's a good ball just on his head and can't quite get it to the brother, and then hooshed clear on the Art Hotel. And still probably got a good 17-18 minutes here Beachside, or can Knights really put the dagger in and get another goal which should surely seal the title for them?
Well, Brett Andrews has just straight up top. It looks like he's going to start playing as a striking out, which should suggest they're going to start going with a bit of Route 1 football, even more so. He's just gone from defensive midfield and stuck himself up top, don't mind it. It's a height advantage. He's looked dangerous every time they've put it on his head. So all-out attack now is a bit of a 3-4-2 type formation here. I'm not really sure what...
I reckon there could be 10 minutes of stoppage time here as well between the match manager and the cards. As it's worked in how to play from Duck Engels.
I hope so, because this has been a thoroughly entertaining night of football.
I don't want to go home.
Something about these Knights games that we've had this year. The Devonport one, a famous clash, and the big stalk that's lumbering forward, just marauding there. It was big Cuthbertson. And that took the sting out of it in the end, and they stroke it back. And works it across to Pearce. I think the chip to the centre forward must be coming soon. Wanting some support here. The Pelican didn't come and get it. They lose Andrews. There are a few tired bodies out there. Andrews gets pushed down from behind. No free kick.
Phillips out of position. I'd be tempted to try and get that forward if I was Beachside. Pearce will look to do that. McDonald, but handed out by Bellini. Gives it back to James, who humps it clear in the direction of Still Cuthbertson. And the Art Hotel will chase that one down. It will skid and run out of play from Pearce, so that'll relieve some of the pressure on Knights. And they just look to take it quickly. None of this as Jay Clay now bombs on. With Engels assuming going to sit back. Now the general. Clay well in an advanced position. Gets it out to James. And that diagonal run from Foley. Chooses to ignore it. Gets on the left and puts it into the cricket net.
Not the tidiest finish there. Just skying it over the top. A chance for the goal kick here. On Gillum. See what he does. He'll take this one himself. reckon the option short is very much on here to Pearce, and he heads in that direction. He's in plenty of space. Gets his head up. Oh, it was a poor pass though, and Foley gave it straight back to him. Both teams perhaps tiring a little. Angles running at Cuthbertson, who again cuts a very composed figure. And a little bit of a hug between Foley and Cuthbertson there. In the end, Morgan's going to come across and sort this one out. What's he going to make of it? And Sherman just sensing that Foley was on a card, just says, get back. Just a bit of a cuddle. Just a bit of a cuddle there from the big stalk.
Very interesting position, and somehow out of all of that, despite the rather late challenge from Foley, Knights ended up with a free kick.
Well, I think it was for the cuddle.
Yeah.
I think Ivan said none of that. You're impeding him getting up. I was fine with the first challenge, so a free kick for a cuddle, and a chance now for Bellini to swing something in here. The crowd getting excited. Bellini plays it to the back post for a stretching Tyler Harrison. Couldn't quite direct it goalward as we enter the final 10 minutes here. Plus a sizable amount of stoppage time, one would think.
Yeah.
A lovely delivery from Bellini. And Harrison, not a foot to it, but couldn't quite direct it back across the face.
Yeah, it's on anticipation. These last few minutes, another short goal kick taken to a wing back. Art Hotel will storm forward. He hasn't actually got too much in front of him. It's the two players, as Andrews is kind of taking that loitering position. Engels goes flying after the challenge. But that will be a throw in. I'm surprised to see just more introduction of fresh legs, really, from either side. Andrews now, the big body, quite directed. Just a bit of time here. McDonald's made a bit of miscommunication with the run there, but Angle Grinder can't get it in either. So now it will be that man Jones on the far side of the ground. He's not got too many options here, has he?
Knights Reading a substitute right on cue there. Paul Hunt, some movement down on their bench. And Beachside are probably thinking they've got their best set of players out there, and they're just going to back them in to try and find a way through.
Oh, I think the slippery fish could be brought on as well if they need an option.
Long throw, it's just too short for Andrews though. They'll go take two as this one's repelled by Phillips, and give him a chance to heave another one in there in his direction. Since that sending off, there haven't really been too many chances in this one. Slowed down a little, thrown into the middle for Henry Fagg. He's got Pearce in space and heads that way. He'll send it wide. There's substitute McDonald. Back he goes to Fagg. Just got to get the ball in the box now, I think, Beachside. They work it to Lapola. Patiently moving it around. Knights with numbers back now. Running at them back here is the Hotel. And that was shut down. It was a poor delivery. He'll be lucky to get a second bite at it though. Beachside, McDonald dwelling, shielding, but there was plenty of bodies back, and then he blocks it and it flies over for a goal kick.
Yeah, that sub about to be made. The Glenorchy Knights. It's certainly a Brown.
Yeah, it looks like it's Callum Brown.
Callum, thank you for distinguishing between the two.
Purely by the number.
Oh, we didn't have the bib off when I was looking.
So Callum Brown coming on.
Duck Engels coming up after a very, very tireless shift up front, most of which is had to do on his own with the wiki dropping deep. He's really read that line well, and I think it's still going to be an Engels up front by the looks of it, and Brown going over to the wing.
Yeah, I can understand that move. I think they have plenty of numbers back, and they're just going to be knocking them along over the top, and the pace of Brown might just offer them something in behind that the tiring Engels might not have. Here is the other Engels. Kurt, he turns, down, checked, play on, allowed to continue. Lapola, he's surrounded by Knights here, and he's coughed it up. Kurt Engels back on it, works it back to the general. Sherman cool and composed, back to Phillips. The game and the title is in their keeping at the moment. If they can play keepings off, they will be victorious. Here is James. Beachside just lagging. They're not flying at them as they were earlier. Bellini now with a chance to cross one in. He does just that, and it's headed just wide of the post. The big general had lumbered forward. And directs his head out just wide to Sherman.
Very little pressing from Beachside there throughout that play, just giving every Knights player a good 5 to 10 yards. Going to make up their mind what they want to do. Andrews and Sherman bustling together. Andrews really wanting a free kick. Not given, and it's a crunching challenge from Foley on a cheddar, advantage paid. Through ball to the Pelicans, shirt grab from James. That's surely a slice of cheddar for Samuel James, and I tell you what, Foley is very lucky not to get another one.
Jeez, he only knows one way, doesn't he? He's on a yellow, and he's playing on the edge, and he gets a final warning there from the referee as there's one more 11 you're off. He lunged in, he knows no way other than 100% does Foley. And James is the one who gets booked, and a chance now over the dead ball. What can Benny Whitehall produce? Will he go the shot, or does he chip it up to the tall timber? 3 in the wall.
I think you got to just put it in that danger zone of just about where that first night's defender is, just over the head there, and try and get Andrews to make a near post run. You don't want it too close to the keeper. And this is a very, very strong customer. We will see what Whitehall can do. Only one player back for Beachside outside the keeper. Everyone is up.
All hands on deck as the Pelican assesses the field. What has he got in his locker? Is there yet another twist in this dramatic game of football? It's Whitehall to swing it in for Beachside. He chips it up into the mixer, headed over the top, and behind it goes for a goal kick.
Andrews appealing vivaciously. That goal kick, we'll have a look at the replay, just gets over the head. And look, I got no idea who's headed that.
That's clear as mud. Bodies everywhere. Not a clue. We'll trust the referee, who had a good view of it, a much better view than we did. There weren't too many protests that seemed genuine, other than just desperately wanting a corner, as Foley hacks this one out of play. 86 minutes gone here at KG5. You'd think there'd be 4 or 5 added minutes.
5 or 6, 7.
There could be plenty more to come. Beachside, have they got one last push? They're lagging a bit. The press has died from them. That was just so prevalent early on. One last hurrah in season 2017. This is it. There's no more to come after this one. Lapola, back he goes. The big stalk spreads the play in the direction of Whitehall. Nods it back to Pearce. Andrews wants it. Pearce will eventually go that way. Over the head of Andrews though, and
Free kick.
for a foul. And another free kick opportunity.
Franco just inquiring about the lateness of that one given, thinking that it's advantage or the free kick. They kind of got both there. Late sliding challenge, no contact made, so...
Didn't actually make contact, I don't know about that, mind you. That was just sitting up at the top of the box, so maybe might not be the worst result.
No.
There's hot Whitehall to swing another one in. As Ivan has a bit of a laugh. Everyone fought again. The Pelican sends it in. Nestor's got his name written all over this. He punches it to Bellini. Didn't clear the area. Lapola. Back to Whitehall. Curls it in. Rising high was Harrison to win a crucial header. Phillips won the follow-up. Beachside recover the ball though. Oh, lovely little fleet of foot there from the Art Hotel. It was shut down. And Clay with a heavy touch in another corner.
Tell you what, I'm on the edge of my seat with my heart rate up, and I don't really care who wins this game. This is absolutely football at its finest, and I think Whitehall will jog across to the far side and try and whip in some magic. Well, it says there's 2 minutes to the 90. There's going to be a minimum of 5, I reckon. I wish I could get into Ivan's head to figure out that for sure.
Yeah, minimum 4. I don't know how long we'll get. We'll definitely get a hefty dose as the Pelican swings it in once more, right into the mixer. Headed by Cuthbertson, flapping out it was Storm. Nestor behind it goes for another corner. They somehow keep it out. It wasn't terribly convincing. There were bodies everywhere. Scenes here at KG5, and we'll have another dose of the Pelican.
Pretty much just screamed that in front of Nestor as the Pelican whips that one into the mixer. 7 Beachside players around and eventually cleared from Bellini. It's only Lapola and Gillum in the back half. And he lofts that one into the night sky. Andrews is the only one offside. Everyone else is on. Whitehall can't quite get a touch to that head clash. We'll see both trainers called onto the field, and General Sherman will call these troops in. Big rising challenge there from Fag and Clay, and yeah, pretty obvious head clash there afterwards. It's going to leave a nasty mark. As we tick nearly into the 90th minute.
Well, now we're definitely getting 5 or 6 minutes. We're going to have another minute here, stoppage the calm before the storm. They're under siege at the moment, Knights. They're firing cross after cross into the box. They've got plenty of tall timber, but the Knights' defence is standing up to the task. Can they hold out? You mentioned Sergio Aguero a little bit earlier, Funty. Will we have that type of moment here? Because a goal at this stage of the game would be decisive, and it would settle the title. Can Knights hold out, or will Beachside conjure the winner? They've had the chances in the game.
They're going to rue those misses before first half if they don't get one here. I mean, those 2 gilt-edged chances just before half-time, and then Whitehall's chip, Andrews onto the crossbar, the list goes on.
And an own goal, this Knights goal. They're really going to be regretting this one. It'll be a great escape for Knights if they can hold on here. An escape it will be.
Both teams down to 9 at the moment with the players off. Clay receiving a bit of treatment on the far side.
9 aside. I was always in favour of that for extra time rather than golden goal. Going the hockey method of dropping players off. A little bit of 9 aside. Don't mind it.
Tell you what, I wouldn't mind another hockey trick. Free net, no keeper.
Oh,
get the keeper up.
I agree. Get up there, own son. Get up there. Go on, Gillum.
I mean, if you're going to wear 98, you've got to write your name into the book somehow.
Mind you, I'm not sure he's got the physical presence from a corner that you'd be looking for the keeper to make an impact, as the general just turns nicely, works it forward, and the Kurt Engel grinders off here. Oh, skillful, skips around one. He's got some support here, Engels, but he couldn't get past Henry Fag there. Sliding in. No, it was Pearce even made a great challenge, wins it back for his side. Beachside will punt it forward. Here's Whitehall. Well done, Foley. Got back, although seized upon by McDonald. A slightly heavy touch. He won it initially, but his second touch played in Harrison. Lofted over the top. Engels up here against the Hotel, who just leaves it for his keeper, and then did it well enough in the end. They'll work it out. They'll chip this one forwards again towards Andrews. Smashed away by James. The amount of times he's done that this half would be double figures, I reckon. He has just cleared the area time and time again.
I tell you what, get everyone up from Beachside. The fact they've still got 4 people in their own half at the moment, they need as much timber up there as they can get. Cuthbertson swings it out wide. Now it comes in. The Pelicans probably going to get beaten out by Foley. Now Bellini plays it to James, who's got plenty of time. Whitehall for company. Bellini again. He'll look to burst through the middle. Engels with the touch, immediately pressured. McDonald, Foley, that should be Beachside ball. No, it's not.
Yeah, get the crucial throw in here and eat some more seconds off the clock. We've gone to 93, but you'd still think there's a couple of minutes to go here. The crowd on the edge of their seats. Has anyone got the legs left here for Beachside? That's a good option in the end. Just kick it down and get some field position. There's not too many Beachside players capable of going up and back at this stage. I think this has got to be just get it to the keeper. Loft it long. One pass and now go. Get it up there. They're approaching the last chance saloon time here. Beachside. Is there a further twist to come? He's into a little bit of trouble here. They've coughed it up. Engels. Oh, surging forward is Brown. He could seal it here. Brown, he's got the legs. He runs into the box. Twice the title. Brown side netting. Fooling half of the crowd. He picks out the side of the net.
Yeah.
It's still 1-1.
The Knights crowd who are gathering behind the other end thought that was in for all money and ready for a borderline pitch invasion. But the guy just wide from Brown. He's got pace anyway, but against the tired legs, he'll get there most times. Gets it wide, and then afterwards, yeah, just an accidental knee to the head to the goalkeeper. I'd be, if it's not serious, I'd be tempted just to almost prop him upright, just so the play can continue.
What happens if the clock reaches 100? I think that's a distinct possibility.
I was just thinking, I remember an Arsenal-Liverpool game a few years ago where someone scored a penalty in about the 110th minute. That's about the only time I can think of a non-extra time.
Oh, I'm sure Sir Alex had a few of them, Funty. Come on, mate. You're a United man, you should remember that. Bit of Fergie time.
Oh, I love me some Fergie time.
Have we got some Pelican time here? Is there going to be a couple of minutes aimed to cause some late havoc? We've got another delay here. The drama just being put on hiatus for a second as the young keeper gets some treatment. He doesn't look in a great state, and the question is, do you bother bringing on another keeper, or do you just bring on an outfield player here at this stage?
I'd borderline go.
I'd bring on, if you've got an attacking player, bring him on.
Yeah.
Just get him up top.
I would too. Just to confirm, Dirk Cowart, 102nd minute goal he scored before. Now we're just going to have a borderline committee meeting while this is happening. Just going to talk tactics. Not sure what tactics you can have in the 95th minute of a league title.
Long Knights just hold firm. A couple more clearances, and this game is us. That will be the message from Praviti. Hold out. They're playing direct. They're out on their legs. Just clear the area, and we'll be right.
I mean, it's pure motivational. It's this time. It's just trying to get seek every last inch out of your team. Bit of water, bit of a sports drink. The team's doing that.
I think the stoppage probably helps Beachside a little more. They were really lagging in those last few minutes. There wasn't a lot of movement off the ball. And the young keeper, unfortunately, we hope he's all right. He's stayed down here, Gillum. But no, look, if I'm Beachside, I'm genuinely subbing him off for an attacker at this stage.
Yeah,
roll him out there.
Absolutely. Even if you just put your attacker play on sit one as a sweeper and just get him to sprint back.
Give the big stalk the gloves or something,
Yeah.
so if you need to, you can reach up and grab it. But
nominate him as your keeper, but just have him nowhere near the box.
I'm not sure you actually need a keeper anymore.
Mind you, if we're keeping on the Man
City,
City...
they're bringing Siedler on. Come on, where's the tactical innovation, Funty?
I mean, look, Man City last year borderline played without a keeper most of the second half. So, I mean, why can't Beachside do it for 5 minutes?
So it's going to be Kieran Siedler coming on here at the end. Not how he would have wanted to be introduced, but look, he might get the chance to make himself the hero if I'll just get up there.
Well, I mean, you could play Siegler just attacking.
Well,
I mean,
maybe. The fly keeper, we'll see. But well, we're definitely ticking past 100 now, I'd have thought. This has been a few minutes delay. I still reckon there was a couple of minutes to go when this injury happened.
Well, we had the delay going into stoppage time. It was already at, say, 4. That probably made it 5, 6. Now we're probably looking at
24.
Yeah. I tell you what, I have no idea what the longest game in Tasmanian football history is, but I think this is getting there, especially for one without extra time. As we look at Gillum walking off rather gingerly. Complete accidental contact there from Brown.
Yeah,
looks a bit ginger.
Yeah, I think he's been cleaned up there, helped off. So that's the end of a promising young goalkeeper's day. We wish him all the best. Hopefully he'll recover. It's going to be Siegler to come on and see this game out.
Yeah.
Can they do it for him? Despairing glove on the ball that went past him. Will that be the moment that settles the title, or will there be one last twist?
I'd love this if they bring a keeper on and then Siegler runs the other way, which he hasn't done, but I would have loved it.
And the crowd wondering why. I think he'll take the goal kick, and then it'll be everyone forward. So
some proper kick and rush, just kick it and then sprint from the keeper.
So we have absolutely no idea how long is left here. We've ticked out 98 minutes. I think we'll definitely get to triple figures. There's got to be a couple of minutes left. Brett Andrews, I'm not sure if he's signaling a tactical thing or whether 4 minutes to go. He was holding up 4 fingers to his teammates after having a chat with the ref. So I don't know if that means there's 4 minutes to go or whether that was just a tactical thing. So,
or whether there was 4 minutes to start with and now we'll eventually get there. Beachside get it underway. General Sherman, a big header, and now he'll just thump that into the sky. Henry Fagg taking the goal kick is everyone onside, tries to go the little chip over the top to the Art Hotel, who borderline falcons it into the angle grinder's face. Pearce has surely got to hit this first time and does. Everyone onside, gets over the head, Dipper lets it bounce and just gets there in time. Andrews with the flick into the volley! Oh, it's just over the top! Oh, Beachside have nearly got it in the 99th minute. He's hit that into the ground as McDonald. Andrews on the deck.
brilliant from Andrews
It's
to
all
set the
happening.
chance. Route 1 football. Andrews does so well to set the chance here. Just a little bit unnerved was Phillips. Didn't deal with it. Somehow wins that header. And McDonald makes sweet, sweet contact. And that is inches over the top. That would have been the greatest way to win a title. Not to be. Knights hold on again. They smash this one long. Back from whence it came. It'll sit for Foley. He's told to just settle it down. Well, he didn't, but it worked out perfectly because he worked it to Engels. And now to Bellini, and they're just going to knock it around here, Knights. Oh, they've turned it over. Lapola now has got to drive it forwards. That he does. Straight to Tyler Harrison, though. In the middle, Lapola through the back of Bellini. And they can eat up some more seconds now.
Let's see how long this free kick takes to be given. It should take a minimum of a minute as we actually tick in to the 100th minute of this game. And the free kick gets taken now. Pushed out wide to Clay. He'll try and keep it down a bit. Now Phillips looks to go wide to Brown, but hits nobody in particular. And Henry Jones has got to sprint like a man making jam in the factory to get this in.
Yeah, he's got to get this one to his defender, and then they've got to smash it long onto the head of Andrews, surely. Lapola presenting short.
Throw it back to the keeper and just lump it.
Don't know what the number 10's doing, getting back in his own defensive half. He's not got the memo. This one we worked in there. Maybe he hasn't got the physical size to want to be up there to join the ball. They're running out of room here, and they're running out of time. Knights can eat another 30 seconds here. They'll be in no rush at all. They keep killing them off. 101 minutes gone now. There still might be a minute or two left, though. Who knows?
Pravidi looking at the watch I just saw down the sideline.
Oh, good luck. Good luck keeping track of how many minutes are left. No one's going to know except for the referee, I'd have thought. Long throw, not opted for. Goes short. It was a clever one. Oh, Brown does brilliantly. Centering ball's blocked away. Here we go. They smash it forward. It's Phillips up against Whitehall. Works it off Phillips, but it stays in play into the middle. McDonald went the other way. Full Foley chips it forward. Here they go. Last roll of the dice. The Pelican crosses in. Harrison puts it behind.
Keeper! Keeper!
What's he doing?
Get up there!
He's staying back.
That is a disgraceful decision.
He's got to get up there. Surely we've gone for the spare ball. Maybe there's another 2 minutes left. I don't know, but at least getting halfway. Lapola's staying back. Yeah, fair enough, but everyone else get in there.
Look, keep the keeper back and put Lapola on the edge of the box. Knights have got everyone back.
Here we go. The Pelican to deliver. The 103rd minute game. 103rd minute of the final game of the season. The Pelican swings it in. Andrews is there. Back it goes. Away. Only as far as Bellini clears the area. We're throwing a look at the watch from the referee. He's not blind full time yet. He has a word with Sherman and still suggests there might be a little bit more time to go. We're not done with it yet. He'll smash it forward straight into Engels, who did a fantastic job blocking it. It stays there. The final whistle is blown. Glenorchy Knights are Southern Championship champions. Oh, heartbreak for Beachside. They had the chances, but Knights have held on. A 1-1 draw confirms their status as champions in one of the most dramatic evenings of football I have ever seen.
That is one of the craziest football matches I have seen in my life. Knights fans storm the pitch and surround their heroes. Beachside absolutely out on their feet. Most of their team lying on the ground in absolute despair. This is one of the most gallant efforts I've seen for a 1-1 draw in my life, and they'll eventually get the pleasantries done. 102 minutes they've played so far here, and Knights hold on for the draw, which makes them Southern Championships winners for 2017.
Oh, they rode their luck to get there, Funty. It could have been 2-0 at half-time to Beachside. A couple of gilt-edged chances on the edge of the half. Which snuck through Nestor's legs onto the post. He just got enough of it. Fairly missed one. They hit the crossbar a couple of times.
We haven't even mentioned the red cards yet.
Then there was a wrestling match broken out and both teams would finish with 10. It was high drama and an own goal from Lapola squared things up, and from there the Knights have held on to win the league by the narrowest of margins. This was Andrews putting his side ahead in the first half. Nerves of steel. He was a big presence all day, the captain. He led from the front. He couldn't have done a whole lot more. He smashed that one away. That was 1-0. Probably should have added to it. They had the chances. They're going to rue those misses. That was the first half. And then this. A cross in from James. Not dealt with by Lapola. The keeper got a hand to it but couldn't keep it out. And that there is the moment that will win the title for Glenorchy Knights.
Just saw that before as well. Ethan Engels got a bit in hot water, went straight over to Lapola. It's as we have a look at the Knights players. Very jubilant down there as the Beachside fans roll out of the grandstand here. A little despondent. An uphill task. And nearly got there. And just a crazy, crazy game.
Oh, that volley from McDonald was so close too. What a way to win it that would have been. This bloke, the roof would have blown off the stand.
Absolutely. Well, and then even in normal time with Andrew's header that hit the crossbar, that was absolutely insane.
This was the red card. This was Nowicki coming in.
The body slam.
Just slamming him to the neck. And that just infuriated. Look at that image of Ivan holding back the Pelican. He was an angry man.
He is an angry Pelican, and you do not want to make a Pelican angry, but
it was high drama.
I mean, Knights have, they've made very liberal use of let the bodies hit the floor so far this year, and Nowicki's just keeping that up with that incident.
Yeah, that video just probably got extended by 2 minutes, but they've been a good side all season, Knights. They looked like they just faltered when they dropped that catch-up game with Uni. They left the door ajar. Each side almost got there, but Knights, in the end, the body of work over the season meant that all they needed was a draw. It's been an epic season.
Thank you,
fantastic season. We go now to the presentation at ground level.
Can I start by thanking our wonderful officials, the referees tonight. Did a wonderful job in what was a very tough game. Could we have the captain of Glenorchy Knights come to the table, please? Presenting medals and trophies today, Chairman of the Board, Mr. Sean Collins, and CEO of Football Federation Tasmania, Mike Palmer.
Firstly, I'm so sorry, Beachside. You guys killed it. I mean, I think you strongly deserve better out of that game. And that's such a fantastic season, and I was watching it. It was heartbreaking, and well done, guys. You know, we should all celebrate. You guys definitely deserve to be in the BPL for me in the top flight. Boys, first person, Tyler. Come up here, mate. Ethan, come up here, mate. Sam James. BP. Huey. Shamo. Nowicki. Jack Clay. Kurt Ingles. Lucy Nesta, Brian Heggie, who else is there? Alex Landon, Slubit, Bellini, cold out here, Woody, come here, mate, Shawnee, yeah. Franco, the Brown Boys, both of you. Pagey, Street Badge. Who else is there?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate Glenorchy Knights, Southern Championship champions of 2017.